Grief is tricky to navigate. And when you lose a loved one, whether it's a human or an animal, there's so much that comes up and comes with the loss. And I'm coming to you today with a particularly tender heart. For those of you who don't know, on November 22nd, we had to say goodbye to my soul dog, Jack. Jack's made a cameo in a lot of my videos. He was the most amazing shepherd cross, the most intuitive, observant, intelligent, empathic animal I've ever come across. And Jack was such a healer dog. It was amazing. You know, we'd be out for walks and he would pick up on people and beeline it to them, drag me behind him. And 9 times out of 10, probably even more than that, almost every time that person had either lost a family member or a friend or a pet, and they were so grateful to be able to connect with Jack in that moment. He just knew. And he was always the best guard dog. Everyone felt safe when he was around. And he had an aura that was so huge that we didn't even realize how huge it was until his energy had been dispersed. And I have been a friggin' train wreck for the last however many days it's been. I've been an absolute train wreck, not gonna lie. This loss has hit me harder than any other one to date. So I was doing the math the other day. He was with me for 12 years. So I got him when I was 25. I'm 37 now. For those of us in my age bracket or older, you know that a lot of life happens between 25 and 37. My goodness. And Jack saw me through some of the most difficult times of my life and honestly kept me alive during those times. And I'll forever be so grateful to him. I've already had multiple cries today, so I feel like I'm in a place where I can kind of keep it together for this video. But I think it's important to talk about our grief. I think it's important to allow ourselves to feel our grief and feel all of the waves of emotions that come along with grief and make space for that and be gentle with ourselves through it. Because like anything, if you push it down, it's just going to keep coming back up. And I am definitely not going to disrespect Jack by bypassing this grief, because this grief is just as huge as my love for him will always be. But you know what's coming along with this grief is also an increase in inspiration for me. It's almost like Jack's energy has like joined with me in my field, in my spirit, in my heart. I feel like this last while, my heart's just been expanding in ways that I didn't even know were possible. And it's almost like now I'm in a position to also carry out Jack's healing work. And so in between the like waves of sadness that feel like they're gonna just destroy me, I've also been experiencing these huge waves of inspiration and just hope and high energy too, which I wasn't expecting at all. And I'm just riding the waves, you guys. I'm just riding the waves. And I feel like that's what life is learning how to ride the waves, be present with whatever is with us at that moment, and just accept what it is. I'm accepting right now that all of this super sucks. It super sucks, but at the same time, I feel these like overwhelming waves of love and gratitude for all that Jack was. And not just to me, but to so many other people. And there was a part of me that's like, oh, we shouldn't be making videos when we're feeling like this. But you know what? F that. We want to be real on this channel. We want to be authentic in this channel. And the reason why I started this channel in the first place was to show you, my friend, that you are not alone in this journey. And that's still so important to me. And in a weird way, continuing on with this work is my way of honoring Jack's memory, because this is how he lived. It didn't matter if he was feeling uncomfortable, if he was stiff and sore, if he was hurting, he still showed up for all of us. And showed up in a way that just magnetized you into the present moment and made you feel seen and understood and loved. And I truly do believe that that's the best gift that we can give each other in this world, is to sit in the present moment and hold space for each other without expecting each other to be different or, not feel their feelings or feel like they need to be high vibe when they just need to be sad. When we can truly put our own stuff aside for a moment and sit with somebody, hold space for them, and just hold who they are in the moment, it's one of the greatest gifts. And you know what's weird is I feel like all of these podcast episodes that we've been creating up until this point were almost like stepping stones into like even helping me through this time. Like we started out with in the interviews talking with Graham about grief. And so much of that interview has been playing back in my mind as I navigate these sometimes really treacherous waters. And even this section in the interview with Bonita, where she was talking about just walking through the world and being open. I've been holding that in my mind as well, and keeping my heart open through the grief. And that feels particularly vulnerable. Feels vulnerable even making this video while I'm in the grief. But, I'm determined to keep my heart open. And I just want to acknowledge you, if you're going through grief, that you're not alone. And I want to encourage you to lean on the people who are around you. Allow yourself to be supported. Have compassion for yourself when you do experience the big waves of emotion, because they will come. But also to keep your heart open and allow yourself to be transformed in whichever way is meant for you right now. All of our life experiences transform us in some way, and all of our experiences forge us into who we are becoming. And some of them are incredibly uncomfortable. But when we can meet that discomfort with openness, with presence, to stand and face the storm and not run away from it, not try to push it away. It passes faster. And you know what's interesting? Especially in the first like 2-3 days after Jack passed, I was surprised at how irritable I was. And I noticed a pattern every time I started feeling really irritable and angry. It was because there was a big wave of sadness that wanted to come up and out and be expressed. And once I allowed myself to have that big cry, go through it, allow it to be what it needed to be in that moment, then it passed and the anger passed. And I know that if I tried to just push on with my day and put it out of my mind, it would have just festered and it would have leaked out somewhere else, you know? So this for me is a big test in just allowing the emotions to wash through. My ears just started ringing. Allowing the emotions to wash through me. Allowing whatever is in the moment to be what it is. Allowing myself to not be okay for a while. My right ear is ringing so loud. Wow. But the more that you talk to people about what you're experiencing, the more you'll realize that it's a very universal human emotions to have. Like, you're not broken, you're grieving. And such is a reality of life that it's not all gonna be sunshine and rainbows. We can be really grateful for the good days and really graceful with the hard days. So thank you so much for being here and being a part of this community. Thank you for just witnessing me in my grieving process, and for supporting each other in the comment sections. It just makes my heart really happy to see you guys reaching out to each other and supporting each other. Life can be really tough, but we don't have to go it alone. You never have to go through it alone. So I'm sending you so much love through this screen. Thank you again for being here, and I will see you in more videos soon. Lots of love.